Colonial indentured servitude was a practice that emerged during the colonial era and played a significant role in shaping the history of many nations. It was a system of labor where individuals entered into binding contracts, usually for a specified number of years, in exchange for passage to a new country or region. This form of servitude often lasted for several years, during which the indentured servants were subject to harsh conditions and minimal rights. The practice of colonial indentured servitude had deep economic and social implications, both for the colonizers and the indentured individuals who were forced to endure this difficult existence. Through examining the origins, conditions, and consequences of colonial indentured servitude, we can gain a better understanding of this cruel chapter in history. The origins of colonial indentured servitude can be traced back to the early days of European colonization. As European powers sought to expand their empires and establish prosperous colonies, they faced a pressing need for labor in these new territories. With the atrocities of the transatlantic slave trade becoming increasingly apparent, a demand for an alternative source of labor grew. The solution came in the form of indentured servitude, which provided a seemingly more humane option, at least on the surface. Many individuals desperate to escape poverty or seek a better life willingly entered into indenture contracts, unaware of the hardships they would soon face. Once indentured, individuals would find themselves subjected to grueling working conditions and harsh treatment. They were often bound to specific employers or landowners who had significant control over their lives. Physical punishment was not uncommon, with severe beatings and whippings used as methods of discipline. A lack of legal protection made it nearly impossible for the indentured servants to challenge their employers or improve their circumstances. The promise of freedom at the end of their contract was often illusory, as many experienced further exploitation or found themselves trapped in cycles of debt. The consequences of colonial indentured servitude were far-reaching and multifaceted. For the indentured individuals themselves, this experience often marked the beginning of a life of hardship and inequality. Severely restricted in their freedom and opportunities, they were trapped in a cycle of servitude that offered few paths to social mobility. The long-lasting effects of this system can still be seen in the descendants of indentured servants, who often faced generational poverty and limited access to resources. Colonial indentured servitude also had significant economic implications for the colonizers. By sourcing cheap labor through indenture contracts, colonial powers were able to expand their agricultural and industrial endeavors rapidly. Indentured labor played a crucial role in the growth of industries such as tobacco, sugar, and textiles. However, this system perpetuated a deeply ingrained hierarchy, where the wealthy and powerful continued to thrive at the expense of the vulnerable and marginalized. The vast amounts of wealth accumulated through the labor of indentured servants further widened social and economic disparities. The practice of colonial indentured servitude eventually began to decline as abolitionist movements gained traction and as alternative labor systems, such as an enslavement of African people, became dominant. However, the impacts of indentured servitude continued to reverberate throughout history, shaping the social fabric of nations long after its official demise. It serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which societies have gone to secure economic prosperity, often at the expense of human lives and dignity.